worse situation than any area of the world, even in Africa or in Europe or anywhere where the people raise the voice in favor of their own people's basic rights. Balochistan situation is more worse. And so that I think if we people who are in this, under this roof, where we are think that United Nations Human Rights Council is seeking over human rights, but unfortunately some governments and some institutions have closed their eyes where some powers want to see then the United Nations Human Rights Council appointed for mission and sent there. But in the context of the Pakistanis, where the civilian judiciary is not allowed to listen the appeal of a common civilian person, and the government established century. But United Nations, human rights defenders, NGOs is not actually sensitizing the human rights situation in Pakistan, because we are facing the military courts. We are facing the enforced disappearances. We are facing any national action plan. In the name of the national action plans, nobody is allowed to say anything regarding the human rights, not freedom, not the our identity or culture. But even then, any person who is raised the questions that why in this country in 21st century where there is apex courts, civilian courts, military courts, what's the need of the military courts? They are asking that he is a traitor and we treat him as a traitor. If any person raises the questions of the environment regarding the China-Pakistani corridor, it is the military officially issued a statement. Anybody who raises any objection or questions regarding the Pak-China economic corridor, we treat him as traitor. So this kind of situation, we are facing very much discrimination on the basis of constitution, on the basis of ethnicity. We are not allowed to speak. Even many human rights defenders not allowed to go back in their home, native areas. And even if any person who is raising questions here, his relatives, his friends facing death. So I think jointly, we like to support the people of the Balochistan and defend their lives and liberties, I think we should raise our voice unitedly against Pakistani government's cruel attitudes and victimization. I thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that contribution. It appears that what we are saying here is a lie. Okay, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Chairman. To my all friends, teachers, professors, poets, but they mentioned recently they start abducting the children and women. So my question is, why do you think Pakistani army is targeting Baloch women and children?
Thank you very much. This is the first series of 3 contribution and question. And Abdul, would you like to answer that?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
I would like to answer. Because they have no other way to blackmail the political and peaceful demands of the Baloch political activists. First, they started abducting, torturing, and then releasing the Baloch students and activists who were demanding their rights. in 2008 and 9, they were only abducting and arresting them, and then for a few weeks they were only lightly tortured, and then they were released. But the voices for the rights became louder, and they had to intensify their efforts to crush those voices. And so then they started abducting. The activists started to go missing for years, and then they were released. In 2009, they were released, and then there was a very important case that happened. 3 Baloch leaders, one from BRP, Sher Mohammad Baloch, Shaheed Ghulam Mohammad Baloch, and Shaheed Lala Munir Baloch. They were like top Baloch leadership of 3 major Baloch political parties. They were abducted. 1 week they were tortured, and their bullet-riddled dead bodies were found. So why they are now targeting women and children? Because all those efforts, torturing, killing, and dumping of bullet-riddled bodies of political activists, they got them nothing, because the voices, the struggle of the Baloch people became louder. Now we are sitting here in such an international forum, and the world is starting to know more about the Baloch people. They want to blackmail us. Our women and children are being abducted. From past 6 weeks, from my hometown in Dera Bukti, 200 Baloch women were abducted. They are still missing. 1 infant died in the custody of Pakistani forces because of lack of food and medical treatment. His mother was released, but the forces thought she was dead. She was dumped on a roadside, but she was seen by a shepherd, and they took her to a home, and she was alive. So all those people are still missing, and they are just using the women and children as a tool to blackmail political activists and to stop them, their struggle for the rights. Like they did in Bangladesh in 1970s. I was not even born then. Our elders told us. We have read in history books. Even in Pakistani history, they don't teach that Bangladesh was once part of Pakistan and what they did to the Bengali people. They were in majority and they were killed. 3 million Bengali people were killed. And 300 Bengali women and even children, 5 years old children were raped, 300 Bengali women. So now the silence of international community, the people sitting here, their silence is repeating those things that happened in Bangladesh. Now they are repeating the same in Balochistan. So our demand basically is that stop it before it is too late. Stop it before the Pakistani military start to rape Baloch women and children like they did in Bangladesh. So our demand basically is that United Nations send fact-finding missions, and international media should be allowed to visit and to report from Balochistan. No, do not listen to us. For example, when we say there are mass graves, there are enforced disappearances or extrajudicial killing, you should not believe what we say. We demand that you should visit the international journalists, international media, international human rights groups, United Nations should send fact-finding missions there to investigate what is going on. Why doesn't the Pakistani government and security forces allow international media to report from there if there is nothing wrong there? So I hope I have already answered your question.
Thank you. That was a detailed answer that he gave, and I'm sure that he's reinforcing one thing, that the United Nations should assist by sending a fact-finding mission to Pakistan, and that the international community should press on the Pakistani government to allow other human rights defenders, other human rights organizations to come in and also get the story, so that it should not look as if you organize lies and you're letting the United Nations to know about this. I thank you. Next series. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, everyone. My question is regarding Pakistan, China.
Sorry, sir. Your name, if you can have, would be good.
Mr.